I wanted to add a chin mount to the Biltwell Gringo helmet for the GoPro Hero 9. They use 3M tape, but I wanted to make sure that mine stuck pretty well, especially in heat, so I wanted to add a couple screws and some crazy glue. So I went ahead and put the mount on the chin and marked off where it needed to sit for the GoPro to be out in front. Then I used the tool that they provide with the chin mount to take off the part that would sit flush with the helmet. So these screws will go on each side and it'll go through the plate and then into the helmet. So I wanted to make sure the holes in the actual mount are bigger than the screw. Then I cleaned off the section of the helmets that I'll apply the mount to. And then I kind of countersunk the side that'll go on the helmet so the burrs won't get in the way. Then I applied the 3M tape. And I'd heard in some other videos that the best thing to do is to use a heat gun to kind of warm up the tape and it would stick better. So I used a smaller drill bit to go ahead and go into the helmet, making sure not to go too far and to make a big hole in the actual padding of the helmet. Applied some crazy glue to the screw. Then I went ahead and screwed it into the helmet. And I made sure to keep my finger on the other side of the helmet when I was screwing it in to make sure that it didn't go so far that it would actually protrude into the helmet. So then I went ahead and attached the chin mount itself. It's actually an aluminum mount, so it's a lot stronger than some of the plastic mounts, but it's also a little bit heavier, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to use a screw. A lot of people would talk about how heat tends to make the 3M tape get a little loose and things fall off, so that's why I wanted to use the screws, because I'll be riding this thing into the middle of the desert and you're talking 110, 115 degrees, so I didn't want this falling off when it got too hot. I used the media mod so I can get to a external mic, and I mounted it upside down so I can actually get to it. If it was mounted straight up, it'd be not only in the way, but I also wouldn't be able to get to the port for the external mic. Made sure that it doesn't actually hit my chest or anything like that, and it's nowhere near actually. So there's a lavalier mic that I'll be using for the GoPro. And since I mounted upside down, it's out of the way, I can actually access all the ports. And that's the external mic port there. So I went ahead and tightened it up, and you can also loosen up that one part, so if I want to set the helmet down and I don't want to worry about have it leaning on the GoPro, I can actually flip it up like that. So with it installed, I went down to Oceanside because they carry my favorite beer at the Stone Outlet there.
Well, she grew up in a southern town. She had a mom and she had a dad. But daddy...
When I started off, I went ahead and had the camera set at linear and horizon leveling. So I wanted to see how that worked for a while.
He rolled up and said, "Where to today?" She said, "Hey, let's run away."
The 101 from Oceanside down to Carlsbad is one of my favorite drives. Then I went ahead and turned around to head back up to Oceanside, and I switched the camera into wide, and I don't believe that you can actually do horizon leveling, but I wanted to see how it was just letting it go ahead and tilt the horizon depending on how my helmet tilted. The only issue I ran into using this is that since it doesn't do horizon leveling, I actually had to fix some of the tilted horizons, especially for the stationary like this, and whenever you adjust the horizon you have to zoom in on the camera, so it kind of almost negates the whole wide lens part. So I'm not really sure which one I'll stick with as far as whether I'll use wide or stick with linear with the horizon leveling.
Seen it coming like the red book, young. Take the money from the pocket of the sufferer. Gunman was a textbook, ruffian. Rush for the Simeon, speaking with the oblivion. Middle back and vigilant and never run. Rest of us oblivious to what we've done. Amphibians, slither down meridians. I'll shoot a text to Corinthians. Lying awake and I can't take it, nothing sacred. Building bacon, eat your cake and taste your bacon, bitch. It's like half the population switched.
I had my drone with me, so of course I had to break that out. There's a pretty small stretch of land between Carlsbad and Oceanside before Camp Pendleton that you're actually allowed to fly a drone. And luckily the pier section of Oceanside is an area where you actually can fly.
Listen for the tonal shift, the pressure cooking motor switch. Through the modem, it's a totem, it's some holy shit. We done pulled the goalie, chopping up some golden oldies quick. Watch us as we slowly drift, holding up the only fix. Armageddon 46, now we can only hold it this. Took it like a boat to fish, limping like a broken wrist. Talking big and knowing shit, don't bother me, I don't exist. Quicker it burns when you let go. Echo on the run with the wide eye open. I don't believe it cause you said so. Follow on the run with the high tide ocean. I guess this is just all I am. I guess this is when it all falls down. This is where I'm giving all I can. This is what I need to break this
It's
down.
all an illusion, can't tell what is truly real. Ain't in Kansas no more, them red shoes ain't Ruby Hills.
So all in all, the chin mount works really well. I'm pretty happy with the way it's done, and I've got a normal helmet mount that goes on the top that I'll probably use on another helmet. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll create more content soon.
This is our land. Take it in vain, it's right, but I'm trying to bring them back to life like Narcan. 'Cause it's just a corpse that was standing over